Hello, hello. Happy Thursday night. How is everyone? Hope you're having a great week. And tonight it's all about a card. It's not just any card though. Tonight we are using Sight Unseen, my favorite, and you'll know why. And yes, this is a favorite, and it's not. I might have other favorites too. This one is called Grace's Garden. You can imagine my excitement when I saw that we had a stamp set and a bundle named Grace's Garden. I didn't care what it was about. I knew it was coming to my house. And I can't believe I waited 2 whole weeks to actually show it, but this is a fun card. Hey, Shannon. And the cool part about it is it can definitely go on as simple as an amazing embellishment too. Tonight we're going to just do it as a card because I want to do all the parts of it, and it just takes a little bit to do the detail, but I hope you're going to like it too. So I will have the full supply list up for you with all the details. I'll also pop in a simple for you that lets you put this on the simple as well. Those of you that are going, what is she talking about? Simples are my SVG that we use for die cut machines, but it's a way of scrapbooking. It's a way of memory keeping, and it's a system that I use. So there's lots more about it, and we'll talk about it another night. But tonight we are talking about cards. And yes, thank you. I think I might survive. I had the stomach flu on Sunday. I don't know if it's the flu or the bug or the virus or whatever it was, but yikes. It was pretty intense, and then I thought on Monday, oh, I'm good. And then I got up Tuesday and said, oh, maybe I'm not so good. It's one of those things that it kind of comes in waves. So, yeah, I think I'm going to make it. I'm on the up wave. I haven't had any down waves in a couple days, so I think I'm going to be good, but thank you. The kids are still kind of struggling with it, and their parents are struggling, so some days I've had the kids more this week than normal, and we'll be excited for the weekend. So, yes, let's get started with this card. So here is, I haven't made a card in a while, and I was excited to make this one. Let me get real close because you got to see the detail on this. All right, so look, it's a stone background, right? The garden gate opens. Susan, there's a cat, Shannon, right? All my cat lover ladies. Hey, Mary Lou. I love them. I just don't have any cats right now. I have dogs that think they're cats, so it's about the same. And I keep thinking I should put like a view through this garden gate, but that's why I use these flowers in the background. So let's talk about all the parts. I'm going to zoom back out a little bit so we're not quite so tight. And you'll notice I have the big shot here because there's a lot of big shot work on this one. All right, so first things first, you start with your card base, 8.5 by 11, cut in half. So it becomes 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm going to score it at 4.25. Make sure that you use the scoring blade, not the cutting blade, right? I don't think this cat's big enough for yours, Shannon. You might have to make it a little bit chubbier. Not Shannon, the cat. Yes, exactly. Maybe we need like a shadow for your cat. That's more like a kitten. Okay, so there's our card base, right? Then we're going to take a piece of gray granite, and this is a really cool embossing folder that you're going to want the name of. Shoot. I'm not going to know its name, am I? No, I'm not. I have the paper here somewhere. I'll post it for you. It's something to do with stones. Like Garden Pathway Stone, or it's got a funny name. They clearly don't ask me when they name these products, because I would think up way easier names, but I will put the link for you. It's a brand new one. So we're going to use that. Remember, I talk about this occasionally, but we tend to forget this black line that's right here is not really part of the logo. It is aligned to help you make sure that you get the full impression on your paper. So I flip it over, I line up my cardstock with that black line, right? And I run it through like that. Now, when you're going to run it through, if you're using your Big Shot, you're going to want to use, move a few things here, you're going to want to use the regular platform and the blue plate. And that's in the catalog as well. And it's so simple to do your embossing because it's just one thing and the platform. I love it. I'm going to put you guys there, and I'm going to bring you back up because we're going to be Big Shotting the rest. Okay. So when you open this little baby up, there is your background, right? Isn't that cool? It looks like a patio. I love it. All right, so I'm going to snail that on down. And then this paper that I'm using is from the Best Dressed collection. And this is the side you probably would see first, but I love these little purple flowers and the muted. It's my color. It really is. On the back, although I like this too. This would look really cool. You could do this too. But I tend to like the more subtly backgrounds. You know, the subtle is my favorite color family. I've used that word 7 times already, and I've only been here 5 minutes. I have lots of faves, apparently. All right, so this is going to be a 3x4. So when you're thinking about cutting your paper, you want to get the most use out of it. If I cut this at 4, right, then I'm going to have a 3x3 and a 2x6 strip, which is kind of useful. I could use that for lots of different things. If I cut it at 3 and 3, that's fine. And then I'm going to have a 3x6 and a 3x4 and then a little piece here. So I'm going to cut it at 4. I think that gives me more use of my paper. So this piece is extra. I'm going to put that aside. And then I'm going to cut a 3. Isn't it? And then you actually have 2 3x4s. This is perfect and fits simple sizes too. So if you love this color, maybe you just add this with a flower on it to a layout, this extra piece. Those of you that are doing simples with me. All right, so there's that. Here's our card. If you're not, you've got your second card front ready. And I'm going to put this down. I really like that side too. I'll have to make something with that. It's the Best Dressed. It's a 6x6 packet. Oh, those of you that are in the paper share, they just got delivered today. So I'm going to be cutting and get these in the mail to you over the weekend. They may not go until Monday, but my goal is to get them done. They take a lot to cut all these. Notice I put it a little bit up. It's not really centered on the page. It's because I want this patio thing to show below my garden gate. All right, so my card base is ready to go. Now, this is where it all kind of takes a little bit of time. But you need a piece. I took a piece of Granny Apple Green just to spare. Whatever green you've got is the green that you're going to end up coordinating. So if you happen to have Mossy Meadow, then use your Mossy Meadow blends. If you happen to have Old Olive, then use your Old Olive. You know, you can kind of mix and match. Doesn't matter. I'm going to cut these little things. So the bundle has a ton of these really sweet dies. Let's kind of lay these out so you can see them. I don't want to put them in that green because I'm going to cut that. All right, so we've got all these that look kind of weird, but they coordinate with stamps. Oh, I didn't even show you. This is the stamp set, Grace's Garden. So the dies coordinate with these flowers, all of these flowers. This one goes with the gate. And then the one that I used doesn't have a coordinating stamp. It creates this arbor. Amazing for wedding wedding layouts, a wedding card. This arbor's beautiful. In a layout, can you imagine popping a photo behind it with the people in the archway? I mean, it's so cool, right? I love this die. This is the die. What else do we have? We have the kitty. We have these really great sentiments. I thank you for all the kindness in yours. With all my heart is what goes on the front. I didn't put anything on the front because this was enough for me. What I did with this one is I stamped on the inside. Of all the blossoms of life's garden, friendship is the most fragrant. And I did that in the heather, Highland heather. And I stamped the flower stamp, which is this garlandy one, across it. And again, you're thinking, well, you used your blends, you didn't use your memento like you're supposed to. I know, but I didn't really do a lot of coloring, so I was able to do it. And I went really, really light because I didn't want to make like a big bleedy through thing on the back. So I just barely touched it to get the color of the flowers and the leaves. All right, just ever so slightly. That's all I did on the inside of the card. I thought it was enough. Okay, so we've got those 3 flowers. This one is just gonna give me the leaves. Whoopsie, there's the cat. So we're gonna run these 2 guys through. These are little and thin and light, so you're definitely going to need something to hold them in place. Now I know washi tape works, but I am a big fan of these little post-it flags. They're great because I can use a ton of them and they don't really interfere with what I'm doing. So I lay these guys down and you can see my flags are all lined up here on the edge, and you just keep reusing them. And you just kind of make sure they're going to hold this in place. Now I am using the magnetic plate, but they still often pop around. These 2, it doesn't really matter all that much because they don't have to line up with a stamp or anything. They're just going to be run through the die, but it's kind of a habit. All right, so now I'm trying to show you while I peel these off. This one, whoopsie, you know I'm going to lose these. I just feel it in my bones. All right, so I'm done with these 2 die. I'm going to put them back in the box. There's a lot of them. This is definitely one that you would want to use the, let's see if I can show it to you. Mine are full right now. I need to order some more. The magnetic sheets. Let me find one that doesn't have a ton of things on it. Obviously, I'll have tons on it. Hold on. The magnetic sheets. Now these are from Stampin' Storage. These are not a Stampin' Up! Product. You can get them less expensively, magnet sheets, and make do with them. If you go to Home Depot and get the magnetic sheets that go over heat vents, you can kind of trim them down and they work. The negative to those is they're not stiff. These are really, really sturdy and the magnet's really strong. Stuff is not falling off, right? That's the difference. The ones from Home Depot that you make, the magnets they'll fall off. They're fine because then they're the perfect size to then pop inside the case. So those will work. I actually I put mine right in the case, so I keep my bundle together because I like to know that. But then I have others that are not part of a bundle. And Stampin' Storage also has, I have a lot of stuff trying to get under a camera here to show you. They have this bundle, this box that fits them. And it's designed, I don't know if you can see it, let me see if I can show you. It's designed so they slant back. So I have that too. And then they're just in here. But I definitely need more. So right now it's a mess. But but I do like it. Generally, if it's a bundle, like this is not a bundle, this is just the layering squares. So these sit in that box. If they have a bundle, they go with them. If I say that word one more time, you can spank me. Okay, going to take, so for tonight, what I'm going to do, so I don't lose them, is put them back in. All right. And I have to tell you a secret that you might not know. Did you know if you look really close at the die, do you see it? It says an item number, Stampin' Up! 151512. That is the item number. So if you ever find a random die and you don't know what it goes to, if you can find this number on it, I'm wondering if it's on these itty bitty ones. It is not. So that's not probably going to help you. But at least it's on some. Yeah, these are too small. Sorry. Never mind that trick. It's not helping very much if it's not on all of them, because that's not the one you're going to lose. You're going to lose the teeniest, tiniest one. Disregard that. So I put them in here. And now we've got these two. And I'm going to put these on the card. This little one piece doesn't want to come out. There it is. All right, so we have these two guys. And we're done with this. And then now we need to do some stamping. And you just take a scrap piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to use my Memento because I'm going to use my blends for all of this. Kathy, that's a good idea. Did you hear what Kathy was saying? She uses the large case. This is the case that I swear you need about 100 of these. These are awesome. And I'll post the link for you later too. You can buy these cases in, this is the full wide, it says. There's a half wide. I thought I had right here. Maybe I don't. Oh, I do. Here's a half wide. Here's a half wide. It's half of it. And then there's the regular size. I use them for so many things. Kathy, I'm doing much better, thanks. I think I'm going to live. So I highly recommend you have a bunch of these. They're just really, and they're not expensive. I think it's like $7 for 4, something like that. It's different for each size, but they're really not a lot of money. And they're, so just add them to an order. Don't put an order in just for that. That'd be silly. But add them to your wish list of things that you need to pick up. All right, so we are going to do, we're going to do our stamping, and then we need to do one more thing. We need to do this, which doesn't have a stamp to it. So let's get these guys going. Notice I'm using my piercing pad because these are photopolymer stamps and they don't have any padding under them. So you need to use a little something to get a better image. You could use your Stamparatus, that would do it. If you're not using a Stamparatus though, and you're just using your blocks, and you can do these all on one page. That'll be one run through the Big Shot. I could do a couple of these. I only did one of each, and it gave me enough flowers for my garden, but you could do a whole garden scene, and seriously, these would look amazing on a layout, which I can't wait to do. And that one, and Mr. Kitty. Now, there are pros and cons to all of this. Some people say go ahead and punch them out and then color them. I think it's a lot easier to color on this one sheet and then go ahead and punch them out, but it's totally up to you. So I grabbed my Highland Heather light and dark. I'm using the big end, and it's really not detail color. It's just kind of, because these are not like, they're not that kind of a stamp. They're more abstract-y. If you don't have this blend, you could use your aqua painter and your ink. And you're just really, it's really not that fussy because it's just kind of quick throwing color down. right? This one, the same thing. You kind of have to pay attention to what is a leaf, what is a petal, what should be green, what should be a color. But you can see that I'm not being fussy, I'm just getting some color in there. And I go all over everything with the light, and then I bring the dark in and just do a little highlighting. And this is how I did it on the card too. I didn't spend a ton of time being super detailed. Whoops. And then I bring the dark in, and even less of the dark, but just wherever the stamp set has a little bit more color, I add a little more. That's kind of too small to do much shading on. These big, this one I can do the centers. Again, not much. And then I grabbed my, light and dark Granny Apple Green. Same thing, only these are going to be my leaves. And that's because the green that I punched, that scrap paper that I had, happened to be Granny Apple Green. And you know I have to have it match or it's not going to be okay. But you could use any shades of green. Clearly, it doesn't have, I mean, leaves are not all the same color. They don't match in the real world, just in Kara's world. And even if you kind of overcolor on those, it's still okay. So this is an easy coloring. It doesn't have to be perfect by any stretch. You just want to get some color down because it's really kind of the look. Of a garden. Whoops, I almost did Kitty that color. And the same thing if you want to add a little shading. And then the kitty, I did gray. I don't know why. And it is dark smoky. But he could be whatever color cat you like. Or if you don't want to put the cat in, there's lots of other stamps you could put behind there, peeking through. I'm going to show you another one that I thought would look really cool in there, a different look. Next week we'll do a couple more with this stamp set because there's so many options. Okay, so we're ready with this. We're going to set up our sheet. The easiest way to do it is bring this pad, and again, more of those Post-it flags, and you just figure out where these go. Right? And you really just have to make sure some of it hits the inside and the outside, the sticky part. And something like this one, I might do one on the top and one on the bottom to keep it in place. And then this one, whoops. See how that doesn't want to stay there? It's because the magnet is doing funky things. So the magnet works good for a big piece, but it doesn't work well for these little pieces that tend to be twitchy. Then I need my kitty. And the reason I'm holding everything in place is because everything's stamped and colored and I don't want to mess it up. Now I need one more. One more flag. Oops. You'll notice that my cat moved already. Sit still, Mr. Kitty. All right, and then we're going to run everything through. Hey, Donna. I'm going to come back this way. Alrighty, let's see how we did. When I first looked at this, I thought, oh my gosh, it's a lot of die cut work. It's going to take forever. It really doesn't, because it's just everything goes through once. So not bad at all. And they're so pretty. Those of you who came on Monday night, remember, I'm gonna go back to Mondays and Thursdays. I was making myself nuts trying to do 3 nights a week. So Mondays and Thursdays, it is a typical cat. And Monday nights I had a challenge too. If you use the Simple or the Simplet, which is just cutting your pieces, and create a layout that you share in our Facebook group, I will pick a lucky winner to earn a $25 shopping spree with me. So we've had some really fun layouts shared. I can't wait to see. We have till tomorrow. I will announce the winner tomorrow night. Let's say I'll announce the winner on Saturday morning. That'll give you all day tomorrow and tomorrow night if you happen to want to wait till the weekend to add something. So Saturday morning, probably like 8:39. I'm not going to do simples by themselves on Wednesday. I'll upload simples for you, but I'm not doing a Facebook Live with them. I just posted that, I think, everywhere. A couple days ago. I realized that my brain hurts, and I just can't do it. So we're still doing them. I thought I put it everywhere, Kathy, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. I could have missed you. But Facebook is tough. It just kind of does its own thing. All right, so let me get this out. But anyway, now you know. Just Mondays and Thursdays, as always. I'll pop simples in every now and then. I will share them all the time. If I don't do a Facebook Live, I'll show you one. Oh, yeah. No, you did good. Your layouts can be... I thought you were looking for my announcement. No, either one. Doesn't matter. I'll find you. You're with a bunch of people in that group. Okay, so we have this. We have these. And now we're ready to build our garden, right? All right, so what I did with this, I started with this piece. And you're thinking, well, your gate's open on this. Yeah, but don't do that first. That's the last thing that you're going to do. And you're going to want the mini dimensionals so that they can fit back here. And you actually have to do a little doctoring of them too. Sorry, Kathy, I didn't know what question you had. I should probably try not to answer questions during this because I read it and then I look away and I don't know that I got it. So those 4, right? Oops, let me bring you down so you can see. All right. And then you're going to take another one and cut it in half. So even smaller than the mini dimensional is half a mini dimensional, but that's because the top of the arch is little. And I kind of went where there's a bump. So they're definitely not going to show. And then one more split at the top. All right. You just want this to stick down. You don't want it to be kind of all over. And then you pop this on the card, and then you're ready to start decorating it and adding your flowers. The last thing that I did was cut the gates open, so you don't need to worry about that yet. The only other thing I did on my sample card was I took a little piece that I cut off this piece, I had a couple of scraps from the other one, and I cut these itty bitty little flowers. They're teeny teeny. You see them? Right here. And that's what these are. I almost think they're overkill, but they're so pretty. All right, so let's get you one. We'll add those little flowers too. So this goes right here, centered in your 3x4. So if you're thinking, okay, I want to put this on my layout, I would take this whole piece. I'll show you. I'll give you the directions on how you would put it on a simple. You'll see a sample. Not tonight. Not this minute. But you will. Get over here. All right, so let me run these through so I don't forget. Just take these 4 little baby ones. They're just really teeny. And just run them through. I'm right over here. You're kind of stuck over there. All right, so see how little they are? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. They're so tiny. They want to stick to everything. 1 more. There they are. But it's great that you don't have to do it 4 times. You only have to do it once because there's plenty of them. There are 4. So now we have this. Next, I took this piece and I put that right across the top. I kind of think it maybe should go there. I didn't do that before, but I kind of think I like it where these little notches are. I think that might look better. So it actually has room to go there, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to use my glue dots and put it right where that notch is. Good. And then before I put this down though, I popped mini dimensional in the middle so this doesn't get squished when you pop it in the envelope. Just in the middle. And then these guys go like that, right? Okay, we're getting there. Then we need to tuck these guys underneath. So just kind of tuck them in and make sure they hit the glue dot, and they do. Actually, I did it the other way. This one was longer, but it doesn't matter really. Get in there. There. Now these look like they're just going to wing it around, but we're going to add those purple flowers and that's going to hold them in place. These guys, these little teeny ones, they need glue dots. And when you stick those down, they're going to hold that greenery in place too. Teeny little itty bitty, so cute though, right? Oh, glue dots stuck to me. Two. Now, I know I'm super matchy-matchy. You could use different color cardstock for these. You could make these blossoms be other colors. You could use the other side. It's kind of pretty. Alrighty. You're going to go like that, right? Then I'm getting so much use out of these champagne rhinestones. I took the teeny tiny rhinestones. I can still do my fingers better. That's just me. My fingers work better for me. And I just pop those right in the center of the flower. Add a little bling. Right. There. Right? Okay, we're getting there. Okay, so then we really just have our flowers that we've already colored. And because I flipped these, I'm going to put the tall one on this side. And they just go on with some dimensional, super easy. And then this one. Goes right here. Come out. I want you out on top. And then the last one was this little tiny one. And I dimensionaled everything. Pop you down here. And then I have to find a home for the kitty. So I'm going to take this snips, and if you look, you can see where these two are closer together, so that's the center. It's not really a line, but I just took my snips and just a nice straight snip, right? And then open up the gate. And I didn't really do a whole lot with it. I just kind of poked it open a little bit. And then my kitty gets a dimensional, and he needs a little one. Oh, nice, Jeannie. They were fun mugs. I liked those. I actually use mine a lot and think of you guys. All right, so there's our kitty. And I just popped him right in here. So he's looking up at the flowers. And we are good to go. Now, I don't know. I think that's almost too low. I think maybe it should go higher. I don't know. You decide. It does go there. It would work. I could add more flowers to the top of here. That would look cool too. All right, so the last thing I have to do is stamp on the inside of the one we just made. And to do that, again, I went with the Highland Heather. And I used this one. So it needs just a quick little spritzer here because it's got, I used the memento on it. And then the sentiment. I feel like it's upside down. No. I just need to look. Okay. I'd have been really upset. It would have required an embellishment to fix it. Of all the blossoms in life's garden, friendship is the most fragrant. And then I took I didn't do any shading or anything. And I'm going to show you this close so that you can see. It's just like a super light hand. Just a tiny. Just to add, and you're not even really coloring in. You're just kind of adding a little bit of color. All right, and see it doesn't even really bleed through much on the back. A little bit. And then the same with our light. You just need a little color. You don't really have to. You could get away without it. Just felt like it kind of finished it. And it's ready to go. I love these colors. So, happy card making. It was fun to make a card tonight. I've been struggling. I really have been just not feeling it. And then I decided to pull out the one that I knew I would love. And I was good again. So if you're doing that, if that happens to you and you're just kind of in this funk, I think I was kind of post-Christmas card. I didn't know what to do if it wasn't green or red or plaid. I just couldn't find anything that made sense. So if that's really you, take a break. Do something different. Make some bags. Do some layouts. Do something different. Don't push it, because you'll end up with something that you really don't like, and then you'll be unhappy. And paper crafting should make you happy. Awesome, me too. So have a wonderful weekend, you guys. I will see you again Monday night. I will be back. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to post your simples. Either the Simple Stampin' Facebook group, if you go to the website, it should bring you to my Facebook as well. If you look in this, where you're watching us right now, it will say groups to join. If you're not already there, please ask to join. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can make sure that you're enrolled in the free class, and you can go back and watch Monday night's class and see what the contest was. Oh, Jeannie. Yeah, it's a challenge. It really is. Sometimes you just need a break. Have a great weekend, you guys. Bye.